Welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. In today's episode, I have 5 Christmas in July ideas for you that are so simple and turn out absolutely beautiful. It is part of a collaboration. I'll explain a little bit more about that as we get into the video. But if you like crafting, DIYs, dupes, hacks, thrift flips, or just creating in general, I would love if you would consider subscribing and becoming my crafting BFF. If you do like any of today's projects, remember to hit that thumbs up. But let's go make some Christmas DIYs. This DIY is so simple but turns out so high-end. I'm going to print on tissue paper, and you guys always love when I show this technique. Now I'm just taking a normal piece of tissue paper you buy in the gift wrap section, and I'm taking a normal piece of copy paper, just a regular paper size, and I'm just going to tape the tissue paper over the back. Now there's several different ways. I have lots of different videos of doing this, so we're just going to go with this method that I'm showing in this video but if you have a different way you do this, definitely if it works for you, stick with that. Now I was out of Scotch tape the day that I was doing this, or couldn't find it. My girls had probably stolen it because they love to do craft projects with everything that I have. So I could only find painter's tape, which worked fine because it fed through my printer fine. Now you want to make sure that when you feed this through your printer, you're printing on the tissue paper side. So you just want to know the orientation to fit your paper through your printer. I don't have a fancy printer. I just have like an $80 Hewlett-Packard printer from Walmart. It's not a laser printer, it's an inkjet, and it works great for this. Now I did pick this little wood slab here up at Walmart. It's just kind of a sign blank in their craft section. It was a little bit less than Dollar Tree, but it had this annoying staple in the back of it that you have to remove, and definitely sand that down. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your project, which side you want to make, the front and the back, based on where that staple is. Now I just got this design off Etsy, and I just cut it out there and separated the tissue paper from your printer paper. You're just going to throw that printer paper away or use it for something else. You just need the tissue paper part. And then you're going to do a really thin coat of Mod Podge on your sign blank. And you just want to make sure you have good coverage, but you do want it to be thin because you don't want this tissue paper to tear and get like super wet when you put it down. So I center this the best that I can. I eyeball everything, and I just work with my finger, smoothing out to the edges, getting rid of any wrinkles or bumps. If you start to pull your tissue paper up to get any wrinkles out and it starts to tear, just embrace those wrinkles and just move on. It's just going to make your project look more aged and have more character if it has a little bit of wrinkles or tears. So just know that. So just embrace them if that happens to you. If you have a brayer, you can definitely, if your piece feels dry enough, go over the top of it to help smooth it out even more. And then I just sanded the edges to make it have a really crisp, nice edge. Now to age this a little bit, I'm just taking some antiquing wax on a little chip brush, and this is a stencil brush actually from Dollar Tree, I believe, but it just has those natural bristles, and you're just going to dry brush the antiquing wax all the way around your sign here. This just helps the edge of the design of my sign that I had this natural worn look anyway, and so it just helped blend the wood into that sign. I just took some thicker twine that I have and tied a knot in either end of it, and I just used my staple gun to staple that in to make a little hanger for this little sign here. I think this sign turns out absolutely darling. It's so simple and easy, but it really does look high-end. Now you can go over the top of this after it's sat for 24 hours with some Mod Podge. You want your ink to dry if you're going to do that, which I do suggest doing. Just do it with some matte Mod Podge, but make sure your ink is dry or it will smear your design. Today's episode is part of an exciting Christmas in July collaboration. I just know you guys are going to love all of these creators and all of the fun DIYs that they have made for you. Our host is Liana DIY. Our guest host is Dave's Wreaths and Things. I am also joined by Lori Bly DIY and the Rusted Willow. I'm going to leave a link to the playlist down in my description box and pinned in my comments. All you have to do is just click on that link. It's going to take you right over to the playlist and start playing you so many fun, different Christmas in July inspired DIYs. You guys are going to love this, so sit back and beat the heat, stay in your air conditioning, and enjoy these fun DIYs. Let's get right back into the video. This project is a little out of my element here, but I had so much fun creating it. I'm just taking the scrapbook paper package that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I believe I've seen some at Walmart as well. I'm sure a lot of craft stores have them. It just came with a bunch of different embellishments, and I have this little galvanized tin envelope that I got at Dollar Tree, and all I did was just trace out on some scrapbook paper. I just have some fun Christmas plaid scrapbook paper. You don't really see it a whole lot in the back when I get done, but you definitely want it to cover up whatever design is on here. So I'm just using some good old trusty Elmer school glue. You guys know that I love this glue so much. And I'm just going to place that paper down there. And of course I cut it as close to the size that I could, so that way it all matches up. But if you need to take a fingernail file along the edges to make sure that you get it sanded off and get everything looking exact and perfect, I recommend doing that. Now I have some cute little trees here. These also came from Dollar Tree, and then just a bunch of other Christmas florals that I have that I just cut some little pieces off of. You just need a little bit to do this little project. And I kind of wanted to be a little whimsical and just make a really cute winter or Christmassy scene. I just thought this was just fun, and for some reason it was just speaking to me. And I have all these little cutouts. You can see all these fun little embellishments that come here. So you can be creative. You could definitely cut your own out. You could use gift tags that you might have. Look at your gift wrapping. You might have some fun things to use there. But all of these came in this cute little set that I got. Of course, like the florals didn't, but all the little cutouts that I'm using, the little die cuts. And you could probably even purchase just some die cuts online if you wanted to. But I'm just doing that cute little label on the envelope there. I thought that was so cute. And I did kind of a dry fit before I started gluing things in, just to kind of get an idea of how things looked. And I kind of knew which pieces I wanted to use. So I recommend doing that. And then when you're kind of ready to go and you're ready to cement it all in, so to speak, then you can start gluing it in. So I have these darling little pieces of greenery that have these little red berries on them. It's like a cedar tree berry or something that I picked up at Walmart last Christmas, and I absolutely loved using them. So when there's Christmas florals start to come out, I'm definitely going to check for those, because I think I used every single bit of those that I had. And then you can see I'm just fitting everything in, just a little bit of glue. You could probably even use some other type of like tacky glue or something like that if you didn't want to use hot glue, but I felt like the hot glue works totally fine. And I even grabbed some of these are the evergreen sprigs that you get in a pack of like 12 at Dollar Tree. I cut a couple in half to put in just to look like some extra little trees. I was going for a lot of different textures and a lot of different visually interesting differences, so it wasn't all the same greenery in there. And I just thought these cutouts were just really cute. And even some little like berries you can see there that I decided to put in. I thought that kind of added a little bit of a different pop to it, and I really liked the way that those looked as well. It was just so fun coming up with a little scene. And honestly, you can take these envelopes. I think I got this at fall time last year at Dollar Tree, but you could do a scene for any time of year using these same techniques. So it wouldn't have to just be Christmas that you did. If you wanted to do, you know, a cute little 4th of July one or a cute fall one, even just make it specifically winter, not Christmas. I mean, so many endless possibilities. Now I did just glue on a little tie here. I just took some twine and made that so I could hang this even off of like a cute little shelf or something. I think this scene turned out really cute. You could even put some Jenga blocks on the back of it to have it stand up, so that way you could display it like this. But I just think this is so fun and whimsical and just very cute, and such a fun and easy project for a crafter at any level. I've been seeing these windows a lot more at Dollar Tree. I keep hoping that they bring more and more different styles of them out, because they're so fun to do DIYs with. This one is just kind of like a chipboard type material. In the springtime, I've seen like the plastic, almost like a frame type material, and they've had like the little words in the center of them. This is nice because it doesn't have any words in the middle. I don't have any glue I have to remove or anything. It just has that little sign at the bottom, which I am going to cover up. These tree ornaments all came from Hobby Lobby. The 2 white ones came in a pack of like 4 for just a couple of dollars, and the other one came from just the ornament section. But Dollar Tree does have the wooden cutout ones that you could easily use for this if you could find them. I just haven't been able to find any of those yet this year. Now, I have this wreath that came off of a garland that I had bought, so I could cut all the little wreaths off of it. And but you could easily use, I showed you those little evergreen picks from Dollar Tree. You could use those to use for the wreath instead. Now, I'm just gluing those trees down. If you wanted to paint these a green color, or you wanted to put some scrapbook paper or something on them to give it a little bit more visual interest, go ahead and do that. Do what you have, what works for you. I just wanted this to kind of have more of a neutral color. I really love how this turns out, but I just glue those 2 on the side there, so they're kind of covering that sign up there on the bottom. And then I'm just going to glue this in the middle. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where I want it to sit, and I do want this window to stand, so when I glue it on, I will kind of stand it up to make sure that all of the trees are flat and it's not going to be like front heavy and flip it over. And you can kind of see me doing that here. And then the one ornament does have the hole in the top, and I will cover that up with a cute little bow. Now I'm just showing you here, if you wanted to glue some tumbling tower blocks onto the back to help that stand up, that would be an option for you, but I end up doing something else, but just showing you how that looks if you want to do that. Now look how cute that little wreath looks on this cute little window there. I got some buffalo check ribbon. I stuck with that neutral kind of farmhouse palette, and I just tied that in a little shoestring bow and put that right over the top of that. And I thought it would be fun to tie the wreath in with another bow as well. I do have a commenter every once in a while that asks me if I have to attach a bow to everything. Yes, I do. It's me. Do what works for you. If some berries would be really cute glued around that wreath, leave it plain, do a twine bow, whatever is your style, go ahead and do that. So I'm just gluing that wreath on there because I thought that looked really, really cute. And then I have this little riser that I made in one of my tiered tray videos. It's just a coaster with some little beads on the bottom of it for some little feet. And I'm going to affix this to the back of this because I want to use it to have a candle. Now you could easily use one of these signs that like from Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby. If you don't want to make a riser, go ahead and paint it up and glue it onto the back and it's going to work just fine. You could even just put a candle behind it, and I'm just showing you here the coaster. These came from Hobby Lobby and I just put some plaster over the front of it to paint it. If you would like to do a candle just behind it, but I wanted the candle raised a little bit. But I set that coaster down and I put one of my favorite candles from Amazon, which I'll link below. These are just battery operated candles, and I just thought this was a darling little window with that little light shining behind it. This is going to be so elegant and beautiful, and not only is it great for Christmas, but it's going to be perfect for all winter long. I picked this cutting board up at my local thrift store, and I knew that I wanted to craft with it. I didn't really want to use it for food purposes just because I didn't know the history of buying a used cutting board at a thrift store. So I definitely knew I was going to make this into just a decor piece. So after I cleaned it up, I got some antiquing wax and I stained this a little bit of a darker color. I kind of wanted there to be a little more warmth to it and kind of clean it up in the color that was on there. So that way it kind of looked a little dingy, to be honest. And so you definitely could add a coat of paint to this, but I really felt like bringing those warm, Christmassy winter tones in. I thought the antiquing wax would do the best job to do that. So I just go around all of the edges. I'm just using a baby wipe to do this process. I feel like you have a little bit of moisture in that baby wipe that you can go ahead and get the really good coverage that you need and not have to use a lot. Now I'm smacking the heck out of it right there, or as Bob Ross says, beat the devil out of it. I'm doing that with my pliers here to give it a little bit of a more worn look. I wanted some really deep like pock marks in it, so that way this antique wax would soak down into each of those little imperfections and make it just look aged, make it have a history, stuff like that. Now I have this little gingham ribbon and it did fray very easily on the edge, so that's why you saw me there with my Aimaflame. I just kind of seared the edges there so that way I wouldn't have any fraying. Now I'm taking the ribbon around and gluing it in what becomes the back of my cutting board here, and I'm lining it up the best that I can so that way it just looks nice and clean. And I really loved this red and white gingham ribbon on here. I thought this looked really cute and just kind of a typical country home look was what I was going for here. So I decided just to tie a little bit of a ribbon at the top because I thought even though that ribbon was on the base there, I felt like I would bring it into the top there and kind of have a little cohesive look. I thought that looked really cute. And I just tied a cute little bow on there and then just dovetailed it. But I did sear those edges again because this ribbon frays really bad. And so I just didn't want to have that, especially if you're going to sell at crafts and things like that. You want to make sure that you make it so it lasts for who you're selling it to. Now I thought it would be cute to add some little greenery up at the top here, so I'm just gluing a little bit of greenery in there. Just embellish it however you want. I thought it looked really cute to have these berries and everything in there. It really brings those Christmas tones into it, really drives home that home touch. I really thought it looked cute with that coming out of that bow there. You'll have to let me know what you think on there. Now, as far as the main part of the cutting board here, I needed something, you could definitely leave it like this, and it's absolutely beautiful and just simple. I am still loving the red truck look, and so I have this darling red truck that came off of a banner, and I just glued that on the front. I thought that looked so cute, and I added just a teeny tiny little bow to that tree because yes, I love bows and I love to add them to everything, so completely optional. But you can definitely make this your own with any ornaments that you might have. A snowflake would be darling on there. Again, you could just leave it plain and simple, however you like to embellish it for yourself. Hopefully this is just getting those creative juices flowing, giving you some fun ideas to do with an old cutting board. And then I just tied that little twine on the top there. I think this turns out so beautiful and perfect for Christmas. Are you guys on Instagram? If you are, I would love if you would come and find me. I am Farm Charm Chic over there. I'll leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. But come and see what I'm working on. I post there quite a bit. I like to show you things that I'm working on or when I have videos ready. It's just another place to stay in touch. So if you do come find me, remember to send me a DM and say hi because I do love meeting new friends. So last month I was on a little trip with my daughter and we decided to visit their Dollar Tree, and I found this cute little sign blank. I've never seen these at my Dollar Tree, so hopefully they're going to be coming into all Dollar Trees or you'll be able to find some. If not, just use whatever sign blank that you have, or even just a piece of wood with some scrapbook paper on it would be really cute. Now I have these little Believe wood cutouts that I got at Dollar Tree, and they come in a pack of 2. I'm just going to use 1, and I just paint it red because I thought that would look really cute. You could leave it even just unpainted and that would be cute as well. Now I'm taking some white paint and dry brushing over it because I wanted it to have kind of a little frosty look. So it's just up to you on if that's your style or not. And then I'm just going to center this as best as I can. The little faux shiplap was not exactly straight on this picture, so I just kind of did my best to make it all look like it lined up pretty good. The type of glue I'm using is just kind of like a type of super glue. It's the DAP brand that comes from Lowe's, and I do really like this. I don't love using hot glue for projects with letters like this because I feel like the glue dries before you get it on there and it doesn't get quite as snug of fit as I like. So that's just a little tip there if you want to use that, like Aleene's tacky glue would work just fine as well. Now I have these little glass ornaments that have just kind of been sitting in my stash for a couple of years, and I haven't really known what to do with them, but I thought that they looked really cute hanging on the side of this sign. Had I had jingle bells, I probably would have done that because I think jingle bells would be so cute with the word believe there and the little sleigh bells, but I didn't have any, so this was the closest thing. So if you have jingle bells, you could definitely use those, or nothing at all would be fine too, just leaving it plain and simple. And I just wrapped that bow around my hand a couple of times, the twine, to make that cute little bow. I think this turns out so cute. I think that this would make a perfect little gift for somebody. It took me less than 10 minutes to make this, so it's a fairly quick project if you have all of the items, or if you see things like this at Dollar Tree, just snag them up because it makes such a cute little sign. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Christmas in July video. I had a lot of you message me with my last Christmas in July video telling me that you love getting ideas this early because you make and sell a lot of your items, and so you love being on top of your game and having a lot of ideas this early. So hopefully this helped you guys out as well as anybody else who just enjoyed watching the video. Remember that I'm going to leave a link to the playlist down in my description box as well as pinned in my comments, so check that out there. Tell all of the other channels hello while you're there. You're going to enjoy all of these fun Christmas in July ideas. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Happy crafting! If you like the video that you just saw and you want to keep crafting together, here's another video that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.